Hi there, Chef Reuben here. Now today I'm making one of my, I would say, favorite recipes. I love making cured salmon, cured fish in general. So this dish is quite special to me, and I'm using this Fairview Crème Fraîche. It forms part of their brand new Big 5 range. It's got the star quality stamp, so you know you're using the best. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start with a curing mixture. So that's about 2.5 tablespoons of molten salt, which is good quality salt, and then equal amounts of the caster sugar. Some lemon zest. We obviously love using lemon zest in desserts and in savory dishes. We're not using any of the juice. Obviously, we don't want to color the flesh of the fish at all. Some black pepper. Obviously, you can change the flavor profile of your curing mixture by adding different types of pepper as well. White pepper will give a different taste to it. Pink pepper also. Pink pepper for me has got a bit more of a floral taste to it. Okay, now for the herbs. Fennel obviously goes really well with the salmon, but also with the other ingredients that I'm going to be adding to the plate. I'm using here normal garden thyme, which I love. It actually goes with so many of our dishes. Okay, so the herbs are only for adding flavor. It's not for presentation, so we're just going to give it a rough chop and it's going to be removed towards the end. Okay, that should do it. So this goes into our salt, sugar and pepper mixture. So mix it up. You know when you smell something and you know that it will go well with a specific ingredient? In this case, I know that it's going to go well with salmon. Okay, I've laid a piece of cling wrap on my chopping board. And I'm going to take the skin off. For me, that just helps with speeding up the curing process. Okay, I'm going to put the fish into this tray and then we're going to start curing. There we go. Now I'm going to divide my curing mixtures equally to sort of both sides. Obviously the salt together with the sugar, it removes some of the moisture of the fish, so it intensifies the flavor. Now I'm just going to close it up. All those lovely flavors can get acquainted with each other. Now the other variable when it comes to curing is you can cure your fish for a couple of days, a couple of hours, depending on the size of the fish. Some chefs also just do it for half an hour sometimes, or even less. Okay, into the fridge. Okay, the fish has been curing for a couple of hours and it's kind of firmed up, especially on the top. So I'm just going to remove that excess curing mixture. Okay, I've just cling wrapped my chopping board. Just that excess salt and sugar. Some of it will stay on there, but that's completely fine. Okay, so the tail I'm going to use for something else, and also just some of the belly bits. So that's going to go into another preparation for our plate. I'm going to cut the fish in sort of ribbons. So after 3 hours, that cure hasn't sort of penetrated to the center of the fish. So it's just on the surface and a little bit towards the middle. So the middle is almost like slightly raw still, and that's the kind of contrast that I'm after. So now with the offcuts, I'm going to make a little salmon mousse. And that goes straight into our food processor. And I'm flavoring that with some capers, some smoked paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper, juice of half a lemon. And now to bring it all together and to add some richness, the Fairview Crème Fraîche. One thing I love about this crème fraîche, it's made from 100% Jersey milk. And also it's got a higher butter fat, which means it's rich and creamy. I'm going to add about 3 big spoons. Okay, some black pepper. Lovely. Okay, now I'm just going to blend it up. Okay, it's got a lovely consistency. Exactly how I want it. Fresh and creamy. There we go. I'm going to make some pickles, some vinegar in, pinch of salt, and 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. Then I'm adding some fresh turmeric. This color of turmeric. For me, it kind of smells, I would say, delicious and healthy at the same time. Okay, now just to heat that up, baby red onion. I'm just gonna cut it into quarters and then I'm just gonna pull it off like that. You know, once they're in that pickling juice, they'll also get that sort of yellow hue of the turmeric. Our pickles can go straight in while our liquid is still nice and warm, but it will still have a nice little crunch, which will, you know, also add some texture onto our dish. Okay, so that can stand for half an hour or so, and then we're ready to go. For the dressing, freshly grated garlic, with some tahini, and some honey, some rice wine vinegar, some mirin, a little bit of olive oil, and then a bit of seasoning, some salt. This dressing adds another element of depth that really works well with all the elements that we've already prepped so far. This is some baby beetroot I've just boiled up just with some salt until they're nice and soft. Now I'm cutting them into thin slices, and then for plating I'm cutting them into these little coin shapes just to neaten it up. And then I've got a fresh apple here, and the apple basically adds a lot of freshness and also a bit of texture, so because I'm keeping it raw, and then cutting it out into similar shapes to the beetroot. I'll just add a bit of lemon juice just to keep the color. This is a finger lime. It's an ingredient that's native to Australia, and it's now grown in South Africa. Okay, so the cells sort of loosen up like this. You can use it almost like, you know, like caviar. So these cells are filled with that sort of acidic lime juice. Right, time to plate up. I'm starting with a crème fraîche mousse of fresh apple. So I want to put it sort of around the plate, and then our beetroot, and now for our lovely cured salmon. Tahini dressing, so finger lime, pickled mustard seeds, turmeric, pickled red onions, caper berries. They add a lovely briny saltiness to our dish. Then I prepared some phyllo pastry, brushed it with some unsalted butter, and just baked them until they're lovely and crisp. Some more of our lovely fennel. Here we have some nasturtiums that's, for me, kind of represents our season. Now this dish, it looks like there's a lot going on. For me though, it's fairly simple if you consider the ingredients that we used. And that lovely mousse we made with a Fairview Crème Fraîche. It's slight acidity in there, but it's mostly creamy and goes really well with that cured salmon that we've added in there together with the other ingredients. So, time to taste. The light saltiness secure on the fish, just as I planned, that balance, the sweetness, the acidity, the crunch, the texture, everything just works together beautifully.